Hello, my name is John Twardock, and I'd like to welcome you to Autodesk Simulation TV. On behalf of our entire development staff, I'd like to thank you for your support of our simulation products. Today, I'm proud to announce to you our 2013 product release. Each of our product management team has worked diligently this past year to bring you some exciting new capabilities that will help you, our customers, design the world's best products. So now join me in watching our product management team deliver the message to you of what's new in the 2013 product release.
Hi, my name is Hanno van Raalte. I'm Product Manager for Autodesk Moldflow products. We're going to be talking about what's new in the Autodesk Moldflow 2013 release. When we developed our 2013 release, we basically created our product around three major themes: ease of use improvements, improved interoperability, and added performance to our software. So I'll be going through some of these in the next couple of minutes and touch upon most of these things during the presentation. Before we go into the details, we made a couple of big packaging changes in our release. So first of all, you will see that we renamed all our Moldflow products. So all the product names now include the word simulation in between the word Autodesk and Moldflow. So Autodesk Moldflow Advisor is now Autodesk Simulation Moldflow Advisor. We also changed the tiering system that we had for the Advisor and Inside product line. Now it falls in line with the standard tiering system in Autodesk, Standard, Premium, and Ultimate. So, for instance, Autodesk Moldflow Advisor Design in 2012 is now renamed to Autodesk Simulation Moldflow Advisor Standard. We also changed the icons that we use for our products. Now includes the big capital S from Simulation instead of the big green M for Moldflow. Another big improvement we made to the packaging is that we went away from the single DVD, which contains all the Moldflow products, to every product in the product line having its own DVD. For the 2012 release, we had one single DVD that contained all the Moldflow products. So that if you had several products out of our product line, you would get the exact same DVD several times, with the only difference being the serial number and product key on the back. This was very confusing for customers that wanted to install, let's say, the Advisor product, and maybe actually were using the serial number or product key that was for the Inside product. So there was a lot of confusion in how to install the software. So we simplified it quite a bit now. For the 2013 release, every product will get its own unique DVD box, when on the back the correct DVD, the serial number and product key that belongs to the exact DVD box. So the other thing we did is basically split up 32-bit and 64-bit DVDs. So if you have a 64-bit machine, you will use a 64-bit DVD. If you have a 32-bit machine, you will use a 32-bit DVD. The only exception to this is the Design Link. Design Link is only available in the 32-bit version, but it will also work for the 64-bit version, 64-bit machine. The Advisor and Inside product also have an extra DVD for Autodesk Vault Server. This is a new capability we added to the 2013 release that is now available for you for free. We also changed the way we install the software. So we are using now the standard Autodesk installer. This gives a much better installation experience, particularly if you have multiple products you want to install. You can do that at the same time. It also brings new capabilities in terms of download manager. If you are downloading the software from Subscription Center, you now have the ability to actually pause the download and start it again. This is a new capability that was added for the 2013 release for all Autodesk products, including now for Autodesk Moldflow. I also want to introduce you to a brand new product in our product line, Autodesk Simulation DFM. DFM stands for Design for Manufacturing, and this is basically a completely new tool that's really targeted towards a product designer. It lives inside a CAD environment for Inventor, Pro Engineer, or SolidWorks. So one single license can be used inside Inventor, SolidWorks, and Pro Engineer. The product basically guides a designer towards a viable plastic part. It provides direct feedback on manufacturability, cost, and sustainability. So every design change that the designer makes, we re-evaluate the design on manufacturability, cost, and sustainability. If there are problems, the indicators that we have in our in the DFM will basically start changing color and will fill up more or less. And at that point, if you get a warning that something is not in a correct specifications, following specifications, you will get an exclamation point. You click on the exclamation point and it basically provides you feedback on why there's a problem. So designer can change the design to actually overcome this problem at really early in the design change before it becomes expensive to fix. So the whole point of DFM is to get to a viable plastic part. It doesn't tell you how to manufacture it or if it's going to get warpage or something like this, but it gets you to a point like this is a viable plastic part. How to manufacture it is for the Moldflow expert to resolve. So, but for the designer, this is not in his part of his task. To really show you how this product works, so we put a small demo together. You will see that we do a real-time calculation on a filling pattern. This is part of the underlying technology that we're using for this product. So in a fraction of a second, we basically do a really quick meshing and filling calculation and provide that as a mechanism to actually provide the manufacturability, cost and sustainability feedback. Let me show you how this works. So over here, we basically have a simple box that we generated. And we basically can do a real quick filling, can show you a quick filling analysis. So now we're going to make a quick design change on the same box. So normally, and after this design change, we see this indicator start recalculating in the bottom right corner. At the end of that calculation, we see again the ability to show a filling pattern. This is all done in real time. So again, this is completely unintrusive to the designer's workflow. It doesn't require him to know anything about injection molding simulation per se, or have much experience with plastic injection molding as a process. So this is really designer-oriented. Everybody can use this. It gets you to a very good plastic part. Another thing we did for the 2013 release is starting to work on an integration with Vault. Autodesk Vault is a common database that can be used to store data and models in a common place. So with Advisor and Synergy, or inside Synergy, you now have the capabilities to actually store models in a common place. So this is now integrated and it's available as an installer on your installation DVD. We also made some changes in the way we import CAD models. So in the past we had 3 different flavors of Autodesk Moldflow Design Link. Design Link was basically available as a flavor for SolidWorks, Pro Engineer, and CATIA. 3 different components, 3 different licenses. For the 2013 release, we basically bundled those 3 licenses into one product and added actually Siemens NX and Rhino CAD models to it. So we have one product now that supports 5 different CAD systems. Those are available for you for sale. If you have actually an existing Design Link license, you will be upgraded to this new license automatically. Inventor formats and alias formats are automatically actually included into the Advisor and Synergy product. So if you have install your Advisor, you automatically get Inventor import capabilities included in the installation. So nothing you have to do separately. This is completely transparent. For the 2013 release, we now changed the Autodesk Simulation Moldflow CAD Doctor product to be able to import and export complete CAD bodies. So not only like a single CAD body, but also assemblies. So in the past, CAD Doctor would export a surface model to Moldflow, and now for the 2013 release, we actually export an assembly including CAD bodies. And CAD bodies can now actually be meshed much more successfully this way. And it also opens up the door for actually making additional modifications to the CAD model through Fusion. Another thing that was done in the Autodesk Simulation Mechanical product is the ability to read in Moldflow files. So Autodesk Simulation CAD Doctor is not only available for to support Moldflow products, but also Simulation Mechanical products. It's a big improvement for this release. We're very proud to have it. We also made quite a few improvements in the speed of our software. So for the dual domain and mid-plane flow software, we actually parallelize this now so you can actually use one analysis and use all the cores are available on the machine. So This typically leads to a speed up of around a factor 2. So it's a very good speed improvement. You should be able to turn your projects around quicker than before. We also expanded the use of GPU technology in Moldflow. So Moldflow was one of the first companies that actually was able to use GPU technology, so compute power that's available in graphics, to drive a simulation tool. We now added extra capabilities to this, so now the CUDA technology is supported for our transient cool solver. Not only are we having added extra support for the CUDA support, but also for AMD OpenCL we added extra capabilities now. So for the first time, we're allowing a user to actually use GPU technology that's available on AMD graphics cards. So this is available for 3D flow and warp solvers, as well as the transient cool solver. We also made some really good speed improvements in our user interface. So our user interface, particularly for large models, will load up models quicker. We'll start putting an animation together quicker, and has a much smaller memory footprint. Particularly for large models, this is going to be very noticeable. So if you open up a model, a large model, you could see a speed improvement of loading up that model of about factor 7. Also, like the generation of an animation will happen a lot quicker in this release. So particularly for large models, this is extremely important. We see obviously that the models that our people using are growing and growing and growing, so this is exactly what we wanted to have. We also added some new capabilities to our code. So in the 2012 release, the area directly underneath a rib had a bit of an ambiguous thickness estimation. That area is like the actual thickness of that particular area is not very clearly defined. So we changed the way we actually defined the thickness directly underneath the rib to be a much more closely related to the base surface that you're actually working with. This is actually a much better estimate on the actual thickness that the flow actually sees at that point. As a result, you see the volumetric shrinkage change quite a bit in that particular area directly underneath the rib. And as a result of that also, you see the impact of that on warpage predictions as well as the sync mark predictions. So big improvement, very successful. I think you're going to be very happy with this improvement. We also added new capabilities to our transient cool solver. Now the transient cool solver was introduced first last year with the 2012 release, and we already started adding extra new capabilities to the software. So this is a very exciting piece of our technology we added. So for the 2013 release, we added the capability to change the coolant temperature or the temperature of a heating rod over time throughout an injection molding cycle. So this type of rapid heating and cooling technology is particularly used in areas where the surface finish is important. So if you inject into a hot surface, the surface finish of that particular area is going to look really, really nice, unlike if you actually inject into a cold mold. So by heating up the mold during the injection phase, you get a much better surface finish. You bring it cool down the temperature during the packing phase, so you actually get a short cycle time. This is very beneficial. This is technology particularly used in areas, like I said, where surface finish is important. Support for this technology is becoming more and more important, so we're very happy to have this in our portfolio. We also added the transient cooling capabilities to our dual domain solver. So in the 2012 release, we introduced the transient cool solver to our 3D technology. Now we also added the same capabilities to our dual domain world. So for this release, we also added the capabilities to calculate what the temperature is inside a mold for a reactive molding part. So unlike a thermoplastic injection molded part, it's not so much the cooling down of a part that's important, but actually more like the heating up. So where you see like cooling channels in thermoplastic injection molding, you actually introduce heat into a mold to start the chemical reaction that actually solidifies the part. So this actually is a capability that's been asked for by our reactive molding customers for a long, long time. Now it's available in 2013. We'll be very happy to have this technology in our product portfolio. We're very interested in hearing your feedback on it. We also started to work on more detailed capabilities in our mold cooling technology. So there are certain components like a hot runner system that are actually quite complex in the way they behave. And we started to add new technology into this area where we allow you to actually control the heating rods, the heaters that are heater bands that are around the hot runner, so you get a much better understanding of how that heat actually dissipates inside the mold and how it affects the final part. So this is an area where we're heavily investing in. As you can see, the cooling technology is extremely important to us. There's much more in the pipeline than we have right now. Stay tuned. We also added new capabilities to understand better how plastics behave during the injection molding process. So the 2013 release is the first time we introduced commercially our crystallization code. We've been working on this for the last 15 years, and it's a fundamental understanding of how semicrystalline materials behave. So when they transition from a liquid to a solid state, their behavior is dependent on how fast you cool it down. And this influences a lot of things, like how the pressure drop-off happens during the packing phase, and how they exhibit warpage. Also, like the directionality of the crystal structures that we calculate now actually is taken into account in warpage. This is a very fundamental understanding of how these materials actually behave in reality. Another big improvement we made to our fiber orientation code, a long fiber orientation code that we introduced in 2012, is the ability to actually calculate how long fibers break down during the injection molding process. So while a long fiber filled material goes through the injection molding part and fills out the part, it gets exposed to a lot of shear, and it will start breaking down from long fibers into much smaller fibers. And this fundamentally changes the material behavior, particularly the mechanical behavior. So now for the first time actually are able to calculate how a long fiber filled material breaks down in short fibers in the injection molding process. So this is a very big, prestigious capability we added to our 2013 release. We also added the ability to calculate fiber orientation for reactive molding parts in 3D. This is something that we've been working on for a while, and now we actually have it commercially available as well. So you can actually calculate warpage on reactive molding parts that are filled with fiber. In this release, we also added a really nice post-processing enhancement. So in the 2012 release, when you look at shrinkage and warpage plot, you always get a combination of shrinkage and warpage. In this release, we also allow you to actually isolate shrinkage from warpage by allowing you to compensate for shrinkage in 3 different directions. This also allows you to actually start exporting a windage model that is compensated for X, Y, and Z shrinkage individually. So I hope this is giving you good insight into what we did for the 2013 release. We focused on ease of use, interoperability, and performance improvements, and I hope you're excited about this release as we are.